Welcome to the iView video training series. This overview video is going to touch on navigation trees, navigating the system, the navigation tree and being able to show, hide, and resize it, zooming in and out as well as using right-click menus, colors and the status in the iView interface, and colors and set points. I'm going to bring in our iView screen, go to full screen. I already have my credentials in place, so I'm simply going to log in. Now that we are logged into the iView system, we are at the top of our user tree. The user tree is where you will spend the bulk of your time in navigating throughout the system. We also have at the bottom of the user tree scheduling groups. Scheduling groups allow us to gather dissimilar pieces of equipment. Perhaps the lobby unit on the first floor with the meeting space on the second floor to schedule those together. More on that in the schedules training video. We have the action pane, which displays a simple view of our building. We have hyperlinks to be able to jump to floor number 1 where we see a floor plan display. You'll notice since I selected the hyperlink on the overview page, it highlights where we are in the user tree. If I click on the training center, once again, the user tree opens and highlights to where we are. You'll notice training center, the label for it doesn't really fit. I can expand that tree to be able to make it all fit and make it a little bit easier to read. I can pull it back. And if I need to blow up this space to be able to fit everything on the screen a little bit easier, I can do show and hide on the iView logo by simply clicking that, and it shows and hides the navigation tree. From here, we also have the installer tree. The installer tree is where we have access to the entire network in all of the same pieces of equipment, but from the network layout perspective. The installer tree is something that you need specific privileges to be able to access. So depending on what your user set is, you may not even see that as an option. And over here to the top right corner, we have our system menu. If we select this, we have system options. From system options, I can click on this. It opens a pop-up window. Make sure that you have your pop-up blocker disabled, allowing all pop-ups from iView. And from this page, you can see that we have My Settings, which allows the individual operator to be able to change their individual password, as well as select their starting location. So instead of starting at the top of the building, if they'd like to start on floor 1 every time they log in, they can do so. You also have your operator configuration. So this is where you add and remove operators from your system. Privilege sets, your system settings, which gives you all of the information, including your email server configuration for being able to set up iView to send out alarms and scheduled reports. More on that in other training videos. So we're going to close this. And we also can right-click on the action pane to be able to do a few different things, one of which is scale to fit. If we do scale to fit, it blows up the graphic to fully fill the action pane. This also works in reverse if you're utilizing iView on a small screen, such as a mobile device. It will shrink it down so you can see the entire graphic on the small screen. To return it to normal, I can right-click, simply deselect Scale to Fit. I also have the capability of holding the control button down and using the wheel on my mouse to blow it up. And you'll notice at the top of the screen, when I change, it shows us what value we're at. If I want to reset, I can simply click on Reset, and it takes me back to 100%. If I need to click on the menu to get to the print, this allows me to access the print commands and print what's going on in the action pane. Always utilize print from here or here on the toolbar. Do not use the print functions of your browser because it may not work in the way that you want within the iView interface. Also on this right-click menu that came up, we have Help. We can select Help. You'll notice that opened an additional tab in my browser. My original tab is still open in here. And since I was on the graphics screen, that took me to the graphics page within the help file. So all of this is called a context-specific help system. I can simply X out of this tab and it goes back to the iView system. The colors and status, let me minimize this for a moment, and we'll forward this. The iView colors and status will show various colors in the equipment bubbles that we saw on the floor plan screen. So purple is one of the most common colors that you will run across that isn't part of the legend. And purple is a controller is non-operational or no communication. And when I say that's the most common, that can be a situation where a rooftop has been shut down for service, so we no longer have communication for it, blown fuse, things like that. So all of these colors are once again depicted in the user manual, and all of this stuff is what gives us a quick, easy reference as to what's going on within our iView system. Let me bring back up my iView interface. The colors and set points that we have end up showing us back to our Training Center VVT. Here is our set point block. This heavy vertical white line that we have here shows our current space temp. Current space temp 73.6. That is touching the green bar, and that is showing us that that is in the heating set point to cooling set point ideal range of 70.5 to 74.5. Let me jump back over to the floor level, and you can see again, green is ideal, light blue and dark blue are cool, yellow and orange are warm, and then we have alarm at each end of the spectrum. I'm going to use my back button, jump back to our piece of equipment, and look at it from this perspective. So if our temperature was down below 70.5, we would be in the light blue. That is the color that would be depicted on the screen here. If we got further above the cooling set point, that would go into the yellow or orange. If we got too far away from set point, it would turn red. More on the set points and how to configure that in an additional video.